about the backyard gardener here. Gonna do a little experiment. I figured since I have all those sweet potato vines and you saw the video where I harvested some and I'm letting the smaller vines, smaller roots, smaller potatoes mature before I harvest them. Probably in the next 30 days, maybe 45 days, I'll pull them out, see what I got. So this time I took some other vine cuttings on October 1st and I put them in water, and I'll show you what they look like. But I'm gonna try to grow them indoors over the winter and see what happens. Now the plan is I'll get the vine cuttings into the container, and then as they get too big to be inside, I'll trim off a lot of the vines that are extending past where I want them and harvest the leaves to eat those. And then hopefully the thought is that if I harvest the leaves, keep the vines controlled, a little smaller, maybe it'll focus on putting down roots. Now, I'm putting them in the container soil on October 16th, and somewhere between 100 and 130 days is probably good. So we're probably looking at mid-January to mid-February, sometime in that time frame that I'll look to harvest them. Anyway, let's go see how I set this up. So I've got a couple of containers here. I've stacked them on top of each other, and in the corner of the one holding the soil, in every four corner, since it's the low spot, I put probably a penny, maybe a dime size hole. So it's got 4 holes, and I'll know that it's got drainage when I see the water come through here. Now inside the container, I've mixed basically 3 things. I've mixed some Miracle-Gro prodding mix. I've added some perlite, and I added a little bit of tomato, herb, and vegetable plant food in there. Not a lot, since the Miracle-Gro already has some of its own, but just enough. And what I did was I added the soil, perlite, a little bit of fertilizer, mixed it up really good. Then the soil, perlite, a little bit of the vegetable food again, and mixed it up. So it's ready to go. These are my cuttings that I took October 1st, and you can see they're ready to grow. I left some of the parent leaves on there, but it's already produced several of these smaller leaves now. So I think it's time to get it into the ground, into the potting soil, I should say, and let's see what we do. So we're going to need to take some of these out and to give you an idea of what it looks like. So I'm thinking, even though there's no roots on these, I'm thinking about planting it kind of at an angle. So we'll dig a nice little hole right here. I want to get this deep enough down that the potatoes are a little lower than at the surface. So thinking right about like that. And now we need to add some water. got to make sure that the young roots get enough moisture. Since they're used to being in a full glass or container of water, they definitely need a lot of water so that they're not going into too much shock, don't dry up, things like that. Plus, with all the fertilizer that's in the soil that they're not used to, it's going to definitely give them a little boost. But definitely got to have them soaked. And here I'm just lifting up the container to make sure that the water is coming through at the bottom. It hasn't come through yet, so I'm going to add a little more water, but I don't need to get that on camera. Well, I'm all finished. I'll give you a look at the product here in just a second. Wanted to let you know I plan on keeping this series going, probably every 2-week updates until either the plants die or until it's time to harvest. Let's see what happens. Let me show you the finished product now. Well, here's a good look at the finished product. I've got 8 cuttings from the vines that have rooted and planted in here. Again, I took the cuttings on 10-1, planted them now 10-16. So we'll see how this goes. This is either going to be a fungus gnat trap, or I might get some sweet potatoes indoors. Maybe not that big, who knows? It's just for an experiment. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe, and thanks for watching.